Paso, Route 1 in Alexandria. Make sure if you guys are in the area, you go check them out, grab a plate, and keep supporting their business too. But guys, our guest is here. Our special guest is here.
Yes.
Franchon Crews-Dezurn, the heavy hitting diva, is in the building. Let's bring her into the show.
This feels good to see her right now. Gonna give big sis a hug. Oh, I gotta get up off my tail for this. I know.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I was just telling him, they was like, all the stories and stuff. I was just telling him, I was like, man, that go back. I was a baby in the gym being around you.
Facts.
Man, I was like, the first story I told him.
Oh, they're on the. I'm sorry, they're right here on the floor.
Oh, the headphones.
My apologies.
The first story I told him, I was like, what was your first? People was like, you gonna tell a story about French? I said, sure. It was like the first time I met her. I knew who she was. But all of a sudden, this girl come down to the gym. We had Keystone. This girl come in with all of these people. with a camera crew, all this stuff. And I'm like, I said, who's she here for? Oh, she here to spar Sean. I'm like, she coming down here with promoters and all of these. Like, she was like deep, bro. Like, she had like 7 people.
Who was it?
I don't know this girl name till this day.
Ooh.
I never saw her again. But you sparred her about 5-6 rounds. And the punishment that you put on this girl, Sweet G standing next, Gary standing next to me. Yeah, land brick hook style. Like, yeah, go ahead, Sean. And then throw this another.
That sounds about right. I don't know, but yeah.
We never saw that girl again in life, bro. Never.
Of course. We'd like to give you an official welcome to the show. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you so much.
Of course.
It was crazy getting here, but I'm here. I can breathe. We're in love.
Right.
I'll take it.
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, I wanted to ask you, because I saw you at the No Excuse card, and I was like, Undisputed. And we turned around and took a picture or whatever. But what was your initial emotions when you found out that Rose your hand, you was Undisputed champion? What initially overcame your body?
It was more like a feeling of relief. You'll be surprised, even though it was a dominant performance. I even asked my manager and my team, like, did I win? Because like all the trials and tribulations I've been through in my career, and even just for that fight. So once it was over, I could just breathe, and I just thought about my mom, honestly. Like, I did it, and I even had a yell. I like screamed because I was just like, everything built into me, everything I put into the camp, everything I put to get here, like, I did it. What's next?
Indeed. How has your life changed since becoming Undisputed champion of the world?
Well, I'm not a millionaire yet. We getting there. Yet. It's actually harder. It's harder but like for me, I'm used to being on top and having a target on my back. But it's like there's no blueprint, you know? I could echo kind of what Clarissa Shields said, like, especially being a Black woman, being a woman in a male-dominated sport, is really no blueprint in how you want your career to go. I'm not trying to be like how some of the guys, the next Floyd Mayweather or anything. I'm not trying to be the next Layla. Like, I'm actually the first Franchon Crews-Dezurn. Like, it's when you see who's the first super middleweight undisputed champion, it's me. So it's just like, just navigating that, sorting out the bad seeds, and just building. Like, where do I go to next, you know?
Yeah, I like that you said that, because I have a question. What is next for you? We seen you called out Savannah at the fight. Like, what's next? What do you want next?
Man, I was over in the UK trying to get smoke with everybody. Things that make sense, because I try not to let it get under me, but I'm a fighter at heart. Like, you know, I'm a lady and I'm a businesswoman, but I'm about the action at heart. So, like, when people start talking crazy, and I let it be known, I don't run. I never have, and I never will. Like, I didn't get here by strategic placement or cherry picking fights. I got here by betting on myself. You feel me? So what's next for me is to continue making history, calling out Savannah and Hammer are fights that would, you know, show people my skill. It would make sense financially, and it will help elevate women's boxing. Outside of that, I'm working alongside my manager / partner, Peter Kahn, and we're planning some things for the end of the year that could also give opportunities to other women. Because as a new age pioneer, you know, a lot of people preach that, but I really have responsibility. Like I've been putting in work, and it's girls that don't get the huge platforms. It's girls that's looking for fights. I get DMs from coaches and female fighters all the time. Like, you know, can you connect me to this? And people don't know, like I wear so many hats behind the scenes.
Right.
So as far as in the business, so hopefully everything goes well, and I'll be doing something in December. But 2023 on a broad scale in boxing is going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. What was that atmosphere like at the O2?
The O2?
Was it deafening? Because it sounded like it was deafening, like when Savannah came out. Like it was dead. Like you couldn't hear nothing.
It was crazy. I thought we was going to have to get active in the crowd. Because I'll never take anything from Savannah. She's an Olympian as an amateur, world gold medalist, and she's a former world champion. But I'm going to go hard for Shields. Like, that's the problem, I feel, not only for female boxers, but just American boxers, period. We don't support our home people, and especially people of color, Black people. We don't support each other as we should. And that's why you have to go to the UK to get huge fights. That's why we have to, you know, we just have to fight so many obstacles. But the atmosphere was lit. Like I was behind actually David Hayes and Derek, I can't say his last name.
Chisora.
Yeah, so they were lit. It was just like a whole bunch of people. And what I loved about them, not only did they support, they kept it 100. Because they could have been like, no, Savannah's whooping. They were saying, calling the fight how it was, you know? I definitely want to go back and fight in the UK.
Every time I hear fighters that go to the UK, they say that they'd rather continue to fight there. And like they're getting more love over there, it seems like. Like even Bud told his story about, you know, when he fought Ricky Burns, like they gonna talk trash to you, but you can fight, they support you. Type of thing.
They keep it real. Like they go hard for their fighter, but if you watch the fight, and as Clarissa was getting in Savannah's, you know, space, they were very quiet. But at the end of the day, they respect fighters, and that's what I love.
Yeah, right. With where women's boxing is right now, I feel like it's at a pinnacle, but I feel like there's so much more that can be done. Where do you place yourself in the pack with the Clarissas and Alicia Baumgartners and everybody else?
I'm the young OG. You know, Clarissa is the GOAT. And I have to respect that, you know. But she'll tell you just like I'll tell you. She's coined us as the Venus and Serena of boxing, right? And if you see Serena, who just recently retired, she said it wouldn't be no Serena without Venus. So that's why I place myself in the class by myself, because I've known all those women before they were anything. I've been fighting for a long time, winning for a long time. Would I say I'm better than them? I'm in a class by myself. I'm undisputed. It's no dispute, you know? As far as marketing and branding, I'm so happy for them because I remember getting phone calls when they were trying to figure out how can I get with these, you know, get an endorsement with like this clothing brand, or damn, I've been in there with Michaela figuring out her next move, you know, and to see them flourish like that, to see Clarissa dropping a movie a week before she's going to fight in the O2, to see Alicia with Adidas and all these great things. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm a firm believer of what's for me is always going to be for me. And my lane is so different from everyone. I'm in the ring even when I'm not in the ring. Like Clarissa wore, she wore my stuff, and that's the 4th time. So to be a part of history, because in the words of Little Kim, music, sports, and entertainment, they go, and fashion goes together. When you saw that outfit, what did you think about? Apollo Creed. You know what I'm saying? So it's about just getting in when you fit in and doing what works for you.
100%. I was just telling you that. Remember the Monzo fight? We was at the fight at Merlin Live, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Sean stuff. I knew just from watching for years. Like, I already know, yo, that's Sean stuff. And I told all the multiple fights, like multiple fighters, not just here, like multiple fighters.
That's what I heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So and tapping into that, you know, shameless plug. So, you know, I'm just a person of operating outside of my comfort zone. And my fairy glam mother, fairy glam mother put me in a fashion show, 25th anniversary fashion show, which is November 6th in Baltimore.
Okay.
Well, I'll do my first collection. I'll debut as a real designer alongside like 11 established international designers. So that's scary.
Right.
But it's amazing, and that's what boxing's taking me.
Best of lucks to you.
Thank you.
We were just talking before you came on. We was like, I asked him, I said, what about Franchon stands out to you the most?
Oh,
and he said her tenacity. And I was like, man, you stole what I was going to say. I said her heart and her ability to, when you dig as deep as you can possibly go, she going to dig just a little bit deeper. So where does that come from? Where do you draw from the
well, he's seen me like raw and rugged. Like people, you know, they credit like, oh, she's so refined and she's such a lady. I'm raw. Like if you take all of this off and this aesthetic, I'm really about this life, not just boxing, just life. And it's always been in me. I knew I was special, and I knew I was purpose for something in life. I didn't really know. I wanted to be a singer, and now I'm a world champion boxer, undisputed.
Right.
Going to be a fashion designer. But in the recent years was actually watching my mother pass and take her last breath. My mom and my mom's illness and boxing career coincided from like 2005, 2004. And she fought to live and I fought to win. And that's where a lot of my motivation comes from. And then when I watched her take her last breath, she never complained or cried through her whole process of, you know, enduring her sickness. And I'm like, yo, I got to make this life count for something. Yeah. And if I can get through all the pain and the heartbreak through that, if I push a little bit better, that no might be a yes. The next one might be a yes. So that's like the faith and the drive I have.
Yeah, but let's keep it all the way tall here. Because she going to tell you that, but I've watched her. So it's guys out here that I done watched for years that it's a certain... It's hard to dig deep sometimes. And they may say they want to do it. They may say they want to step out there. And then when them rounds get tough, they're not able to do it. And I've seen you dig, okay, all right, I'm going to dig deep. All right, now this person's still coming back. And then you dig deeper and push and push. And sometimes when you get to that level, you're really risking your life now because you're really going past overdrive at this point. And I've seen you do that away from the camera, and I've seen you do it on the world stage.
Yeah. Like I've always had a belief. It was more like an ignorant belief in myself because I'm like, hey, this is me. Like, who am I comparing myself to? And I never knew that I was different until people started treating me different. You feel me? So one moment where I actually doubted myself is in the 2012 Olympic trials when I had everybody against me, my coaches. Like, I went through hell, and Clarissa was coming. You know, that changed my life. And my husband and partner, GOLDENBOY Jr.
Consummate pro.
Yeah, he's a resilience. Yeah, that's our middle name. And he stood up and told me, you better not give up on yourself. And that pushed me. And even through the rest of that tournament, and I was eliminated, he told me, he said, you're going to get it through the back door. So from that moment to Undisputed, to steroid cheats, to everything I've been through to get to this point, I just had it in my head, you going to get it through the back door. Don't give up on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I can't, and you know, times have changed. Back then, social media wasn't as prominent, and it wasn't like, oh, if I do a good video on the internet, I'm lit. Like, nah, we had to fight. We had to put in work. We can't cuss up here.
No, you can't. Yeah. I done cussed a few times. They had to apologize.
Out, and I'm like, nah, you got to put in work. Like, you had to fight, especially on the amateur system. Like, everybody that's popping, when you talk about a Terrence Crawford, when you talk about Errol Spence, when you talk about all these people, like, that's my class. When you really had to fight. All the top tier guys really had to fight. So these days when guys be talking all, I can't relate, baby. I'm sorry. I worked 3 jobs, was in college, taking care of a sick mother and on Team USA, producing. So when you tell me, oh, it's too hard, I can't relate. And I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to pump you up.
Right.
And quiet as it's kept, I just seen her do that and drive from Baltimore up here to train up here because Herb was up here.
Yeah.
And would get the work in and go back.
Yeah. If you take it further, you know, and even with that class, Gary Russell, he's part of that class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to catch public transportation. I didn't have a car. So when people tell me they have a dream and things ain't going their way because they have a little adversity, I'm not trying to hear it. Like, find a way. Figure it out.
Right, you ain't trying to hear no excuses, right?
No, not at all.
So if you could look back at young Franchon, she was sitting right across the table from you with everything you've accomplished now. What would you tell young Franchon right now?
Just fuck them. Believe in yourself. Because honestly, if I would have knew that I was really popping as much as I was back then, if I would have known what I knew now, I would have left hella people in the dirt. I probably would have been a little further than where I am, a lot further. But people projected their insecurities on me because I was different, because I didn't fit the mold. So if old Franchon could tell young Franchon, just do you. Do you. They let them catch up.
Yeah, for sure. I know Clarissa was saying being a woman's boxer at a young age, she got picked on a lot. Oh, you a girl, you boxing, you got a black eye. Did you go through some of the similar things?
Man, I had, like, because I'm so dedicated to this life. Like, I put children on hold. I didn't really get to experience life and parties. And I'm not a partier or anything, but I was so, and I am still, but I'm learning to live life, especially after my mother passed. But so dedicated to this and traveling and fighting. Like, I didn't start experiencing adulthood till I was probably in my 20s, maybe. You know, I'm still learning. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still learning a lot of things. And I don't understand why certain people function certain ways, because I've never encountered that, you know? But yeah, I got guys will call me a tranny because I freaking had muscles, because I worked out, and like, because you want to drink and smoke. That has nothing to do with me. I love my life. Like, I see people younger than me that look worse than me.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, you get picked on and everything, but you can fight, so it don't matter.
And I remember me and you had a conversation. You was like, "Oh, you got sickle cell?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "So you don't drink or smoke?" I said, "Nope, I don't drink or smoke. I really don't care about going out, stuff like that." You said, "Don't let nobody change that." You like this, like her whole face changed. She said, "Don't." I ain't gonna say the fighters who was around, but she said, "Don't y'all corrupt that.
Yeah.
Don't y'all mess with him with that."
But you a champion within yourself. Like, you've always been positive. You've always had a light. Even when you went in dark times, you always had a light. And I'm so proud of you.
Thanks,
I'm
big
very,
sis.
very proud of you.
Thanks, big sis.
That's huge, man. That's huge. You get all the love. Every time I'm with this guy, he always a superstar. Man. I'm like,
He
oh
is.
my God.
I ain't hating on you, bro.
I
You deserve it.
I love both of y'all,
it,
man. I appreciate y'all.
You deserve it. Before you got into boxing at a young age, what were some of your interests? So you said singing, you wanted to be a singer. Was there anything else?
Yeah, I look back and I actually made paper dolls. So fashion's been there. I graduated school very early. But I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to be something.
Right. So how did you get into boxing? What was your first experience?
So I was a street fighter. Fighting was natural to me.
Right.
I fought girls, boys, equal opportunity ass whoopings.
Spar bigger guys.
Yeah, I spar, man, even with this boxing thing. But my first experience, I got taken to the gym. I was in the studio, and my mentor, he said I need to lose weight because y'all young, but back in the day, you had to be like pencil thin and this, that, and the third. And I was a healthy girl. I'm from the South, so I was healthy. And my guy friend, they was like, "Hey, you can lose 5 pounds in one day with boxing." So they took me there, and I was a transplant from Virginia to Baltimore, so I was very, very new. And they took me there, and they threw me in a ring with this guy named James Berry.
Oh man,
he's fighting for
Boxing Berry.
He's fighting for his freedom, fighting for his life. Shout out to James Berry.
Yeah,
I love you. Everything I do in this boxing shit, like, you with me. But we sparred like my first day, and they call us Ike and Tina. He bust my lip and everything.
Oh, shit.
And I came back the next day. So it was in me. It was in me. And I never left the gym.
It's been over since then.
Yeah. Been up.
Okay. How did you find your team, Headbangers, Coach Barry and Jamie and everybody?
I went through a lot of hell, and I found heaven. And they a piece of work too, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Right. Actually, I was in Baltimore at the gym, and my whole goal is to grow. And sometimes people are uncomfortable with your growth, and they'll start making things bad for you or trying to pull you back down when you're ascending. So the good thing, I was on Team USA, so I would travel often to Colorado and train with Team USA. But Glenn, my husband, he was my friend at the time, and I asked him, like, what gym would you want to go to? And he picked Barry. Like, I've known Barry. I would see B at tournaments and stuff because, you know, he's a world-class trainer. And he said my husband wanted to go to Headbangers. So he started going there first. And then at the 2016 Olympic trials, it was just me and Glenn. And I asked Barry and Jamie to work my corner along with Glenn. And B worked my last amateur fights. And then I was like, F it, I'm going with you guys. And I had trained in DC. I trained with the Russells at one point. But I just was like a renegade, a little nomad person wandering around, making it work.
Right.
Showing up with a bag, like who wants smoke? How many rounds you want? Like that's how I remember that. Like go to gym. Like,
you ever seen that movie It Man?
It Man, yeah.
I was outside punching trees. Like we was homeless in the gym for a minute.
Dang, that's tough. You talk about that a little bit?
Like what? Just not having a gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people don't know, for a minute we were training in the park behind my mother's apartment complex. Punching trees. Long as I got like road work in, we'll go visit certain gyms, try to get some sparring, but nothing was gonna stop what I needed to do. And I really had to trust my heart because I see so many people. Like I was one of the first people who commuted from Baltimore down to DC. Right. And going through that, people are like, "Oh, you a traitor? You this?" Like I actually didn't want to leave Baltimore, but I got put on the spot and just embarrassed them at a Golden Glove tournament, just some crazy shit. And I was just like, I don't need this. Yeah. I'm going to go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. And after that, I just, wherever the wind blew me and I could find peace and continue to grow, that's where I went.
This will be honest and real quick. This, like, I hope it's this, because there's so many fighters just in our area, down to PVA. Right, just up, down, region 3, whatever. That me and Sean know that doesn't have, you're gonna have your adversities or whatever. And unless you have an illness like me, where it's like, okay, he has to call it and he's gonna do something else. But it was so many fighters that we can list on this paper and be like, if they would have just kept going a little more, that girl, that guy will be up on this level, at least in the top 15, at least in the top 15. And watching Sean do what she had to do, like when I mean do what she had to do to get what needed to be done, that's the epitome
with integrity, because that sounded a little.
No, my bad.
Hold on, we ain't go that route.
No. But I mean, like, anyway, she could get work, she was getting to work. Wherever she could spar, she sparred. Wherever she could train, she trained.
Punching trees, that's deep. That's deep.
Just making sure she get her road work in. Those different things. And there's so many fighters that we knew, that we grew up in the amateurs with, that were good female fighters, good male fighters. Like, oh, if this gonna keep going, she's gonna be fine. Oh, she dealt with such and such. Okay, cool. She just needs to just stay. Just keep her in the gym. Just keep her in the gym. One kid we knew, y'all hear me say this thing all the time, rest in peace quick. We just wanted to keep him in the gym. Yeah. And things happen. It's like just that little adversity, like just messes up. You just stay in the gym, it will happen. A lot of times it's just that. So it's hard, but sometimes that one statement is all that needs to be done. Just stay in the gym and it happens.
And it's not, trust me, I did not come from an entitled background. I didn't, even now, like, I support myself. I invest in myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see me, it's because I am a business. So you have to invest in your business. And I'm not here to bash anybody. What kills me is people who have support, whether it's the parents or they have financial backing, and they still don't get their act together. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Something to complain about.
Even as a multinational champion, to raise money to go to tournaments, I would go to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore and shadow box with a bucket and a sign so I can get money. Like, people don't I used to go to tournaments with a light bill notice. So I had to win the tournament so I can have funding for the rest of the year. It's like, okay, if I win this, I have a little stipend and it helps me a little bit while working 3 jobs. So consistency and I dealt with life issues because like you said, a lot of these young people don't know how to cope with life. A lot of people don't, you know, young and old don't know how to cope with life. So they turn to substances or they try to, they may have family problems. So they're finding family in the street, but love should make you prosper. And even me, I used to run through D Block. If you from Baltimore, you know what D Block is. And I could tell you all the D boys, drug dealers, whatever, they made sure Big Mama was okay. I run through, get off the block, shorty. Or that's boxing, shorty, right there. Like they made sure I was good. So it's like love, whether you in the streets, out the streets, should make you prosper and they should want you to win. If people is directing you the wrong way, they don't love you.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. I have so much respect for you. I didn't know you went to those depths, like shadow boxing with a hat or a bucket, people tipping you so you could.
Yeah, man, I have people that will vouch. I'm not here to exaggerate a story. Maybe one day I'll have a movie. Maybe one day I'll do a book. And people don't understand why I'm so passionate. People don't understand, like the young guys in the gym, I talk them to death. And I just want you to know, like, y'all blessed, man. Y'all got your parents here. Y'all got like niggas really had to crawl through fire so a lot of these guys and girls could run and walk easily. You know, to have, even with the USA Boxing, to have a whole organization promoting you and putting you out there, like you look on social media, you know, putting you in positions. That's amazing. I didn't have that, but I was still winning.
Grinded for it.
Yeah.
Grinded. Who are some of your favorite youngins from the gym? I know she love you to death.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other ones?
Of course, the guys in the gym, you know, because that's who I'm around all the time. You know, we have world champions from this area, as amateur world champions. Who else? Top Dog, baby. What's Baby Top? The young female.
Top Dog, Baby Top Dog.
Yeah, I like her swag. She mean. Like, I like her. And, you know, I'm not going to be like, I don't like to do that because a lot of people look up to me. I'm proud of anybody who's pursuing their dream, especially here in these times. Like, stuff is crazy these days, you know? But anybody that's doing things and making a name for themselves, I definitely salute you.
100%. 100%. You know, DMV boxing, we had a lot of people come in here and say DMV is the hub of boxing. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's one of the meccas, and it's been that way. You got New York, you
Ohio.
have LA. Well, you know, California, the West Side, but DC's produced epic people. When you go Sugar Ray Leonard, you got the Mark II Sharps, you got the Gary Russells, you got the Mees. Who else? You got so many
Peterson boys.
Yeah, the Petersons. Hello. you know, it's so many boxing, I want to say icons, but staples from this area. And I mean, I'm just proud that I can leave a little mark. Here.
Huge mark. Undisputed world champion. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I want more.
Right. Of
I
course.
want more.
Of course. Let me ask you about the fight at the Madison Square Garden with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor.
Indeed.
Did you get a chance to catch some of that fight after yours?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to win, go change, glam up, and have a front row, like almost front row seat. I had Layla Ali on my left.
Wow.
I had Chrissy Martin in front of me, Cecilia Brakos on my right. And I took in the moment and it was like a movie. Was it better than O2 Arena in London? I'm gonna be biased, but I'm gonna be real with you. Like, nothing tops Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, the Mecca.
That was crazy. That was crazy. And just the energy. And you notice a lot of them said that they slowed down because when I came out, I was hyping. I was walking, and I had to stop and look and take it in. I was like, oh, this is my time. Like, I'm about to get active. You know what I mean? And it was just, you could ask all the people that came, like my coaches and family, and it was a moment they'll never forget. That was one of the highlights of boxing for them.
100%. I know he called me, I think, during the fight and after the fight, and I was almost in tears after just seeing how much they put into that fight. both of them, especially Katie when she was hurt and she found a way to survive.
Yeah.
Like just seeing that kind of effort and heart you put into something that you love, it like almost brought me to tears. Like that was amazing.
You know, I'll say the women, myself included, we had to fight not only each other, we had to fight against the stigma that women don't sell, women aren't entertaining. And it wasn't just for us. I feel like what you saw with her, with the Katie and Amanda, and even the passion I had, because the girl I fought wasn't a chump. Like
no, she was tough.
She would, if I gave her an inch, she would have definitely took a mile. And you saw like, look, I'm fighting for my dream, I'm fighting for women's boxing, and you had to feel, you had to respect the ambition. That's what you felt, our ambition and passion.
You
hit that right on the head with that. That's perfect the way you just.
I was
that.
Good after Sean fight. I was like, all right, I'm
sure.
good. We was on the phone. I was like, okay, I'm good, bro. Yeah. She won.
Yeah, I can relax. She did it. She did it. We good. She did it. She did it.
Man, I was spazzing.
I was asking like, did I win, y'all? Did I win? Is it over? Is it over?
Is it over?
Oh, it was crazy.
What was some of your toughest moments in that fight, if any, where you had to really dig?
I lost focus. I'll say I lost focus probably like the 7th round. But that's the only thing, keeping focus, because it felt like fight night. Because when you're fighting the crowd, like I'm cool because I've always fought on the big stage. But with her, I could just really see how determined she was. So it's like, don't like stay composed, stay focused. Don't worry about the ref, don't worry about the crowd. But it was a good fight. I prepared for it. So that's why I don't want to say it was easy, because no fight is easy. But I just had to remain focused.
Right. And what's her favorite combination that she throws?
Roll, brick hook, or roll under, uppercut, and hook. Every time.
Or that overhand.
And that was daggone overhand.
It was like a missile.
I'm telling you, man, that thing was doop doop.
That was that was the first shot I ever really saw.
Look, my fat self, I was up there. That second round, I had her hurt. So I jumped on her. And she was determined not to go. I was like, Lord, please don't shoot your little girl, please. We got 8 more rounds, but that's probably one of the moments like, oh, shoot, she ain't go.
Oh, she ain't go nowhere.
Now I'm at the beat on the words. Like.
Right. I'm not going to lie. Kind of after you heard it, you jumped on and she didn't go, I could see you like saying, fuck it. Like, damn.
Because I was like, calm down, because I didn't want to gas out. Because, you know, she's a champion. She took a belt, she earned a belt, and she had a whole year and some change to train. And she was a top athlete as a soccer player. So that competition mindset, that getting rugged part, she had that in the bag, and she was a top athlete. So I just knew, like, if I gave her one chance, she was going to definitely take. Because she threw something, she hit me. I was like, oh shit. Like, okay. Now let's get busy.
Yeah. If I could ask you, if you were a promoter and you was putting together another all-women's card at Madison Square Garden or someone like that, who would you put on the card to make it just a sellout?
What if I told you I was? Maybe not Madison Square Garden, but yeah, no, but to make it a sellout, there's so many questions because you never put my business hat on. Who's I gotta have a big budget? Is it unlimited budget or what?
A fantasy card, like a big Madison Square Garden sellout, O2 Arena sellout. If you had the funds to do it, you could put anybody you want. That would pay-per-view, everybody sit down and watch.
Everybody, period.
Yeah, right.
Period. Line them up. No. Of course, myself. Of course, Clarissa. I mean, you have it. Like, we've done that.
Y'all
basically
done
part 1 and part 2. And I don't know. That's a lot. Because it's so many names that's not, like, big that are very entertaining.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. That's a hard question. Who would you put?
Man, it's you, Clarissa, Michaela. I love Alicia, man. Her style and just her confidence in herself.
And she fine.
Hey, you ain't gonna get me jammed to my girl probably. You're not gonna get me jammed.
Hey, she fine. She's signed to a modeling agency, so she's very beautiful.
She's straight. She's definitely straight, bro. Look at him looking at me crazy, bro.
All the guys in my gym like, oh man, shoot. And I'm like, chill, bro. I maybe one day I'll get her to say hi to y'all. Like, chill.
right. So I'm going y'all. Then I'm going Sinicia. I'm going Cecilia. I'm going with what's her name? She just fought and punished her opponent. Latina, wears braids a lot. She's married.
Oh.
Wait, Marlena Esparza?
No. She's a beast.
Well, wait.
Small, like 110 or something like that. No, I'm lying. She's like 130. You know what I'm talking
Where's
about,
she
man.
from?
Oh, now I gotta look it up.
It's not clicking.
Now I gotta look it up. She does analysis sometimes.
Jessica McCaskill.
Yes.
Jessica McCaskill.
Yes.
She about to fight too, yeah.
Yeah, she's vicious, yo. I would have all of y'all on the card. That's selling out.
That's like all the undisputed champions, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nah, like I seen her fight when she fought here at the MGM,
Mm-hmm.
and the girl, her was clutching because she has a very unorthodox style as well, and she literally hollered in the ring and just started boom, but like her punches got stronger. Like I don't know, she went Super Saiyan in the ring. But that's a good card. But it's some up and coming fighters that it's a lot. I think the card would be too long to promote.
To put them all on there.
We're gonna do a week special, a weekend special.
Yeah,
part 1, part 2.
You can't take them. Who you gonna put on the preliminary? Who you gonna put on the
Exactly.
under?
I
ain't say Amanda Serrano. I ain't put them in there.
We gonna be fighting
that is rough.
They be like, ain't nobody come here to see you, Otis. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man.
No doubt. We got Lou Peterson. The champ is in the building. El Paso Route 1 with the fire emojis. Thank you guys for tapping into the chat and showing love. We appreciate you guys always.
Man, it just feels good watching this.
It does. Like I was saying,
you see, I'm over here not saying the word.
I feel like I'm giving history lessons.
I'm
just enjoying
for sure, because a lot of people don't know about women's boxing. And we've been advocating for it and telling people like, yo, check it out. Watch this. She's up and coming. She's fire. Don't miss this. This is good to have you on. I'm glad you came. I really am. But
not just that, because I had a private conversation when I told him, I was like, any fight, even if I don't like you, I still want to see you do good because you know what that 3 minutes feel like. So if I like you, I'm happy for you to make it. But if I know you and I got a personal relationship with you, I'm ecstatic for you when you make it.
Oh, for sure.
And when you start doing your thing. All this, and then now how that little gym at Keystone all them years ago, and now look at where we at. How full circle is like I'm just sitting back and just soaking it in, just letting you do your thing.
And to say to that, like trust me, it's some female boxers that don't like me, but they respect me.
Got to,
and I could deal with that. And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I hope you lose. For what? Like, what you eat don't make me use the restroom.
Indeed.
And I'm going to support you because it's bigger. You're going to need the good versus the bad. You're going to need the contrast to grow. But long as you don't step out of line, we good.
Yeah.
Right. Indeed. I want to try to pull a little bit more of that out of you because you kind of touched on it.
What?
You kind of like got off of it.
What?
The all-women's card that you said, what if I am? What if I am? So
I speak
without giving too much. Go ahead.
I have to speak on it. I'll speak on it when everything's in stone.
Okay.
But I'm definitely it's part of my brand as well. Like as I want to be more than just an undisputed champion. And you also have to create the spaces. When you don't see the opportunities there, you have to make your lane. So if the little bit of things that I'm able to accomplish can open doors or provide opportunities for other women and men, like I have a lot of stuff. 2023 is going to be eventful, and it's going to be a great start to multiple journeys.
We love to hear it, man. We love to see it.
Man, I've watched this maturation process and you just knew, man, I never get my fault. Said, man, if she just get the right, just keep doing her thing, and then somebody get behind her, man, she gonna be fine. She'll be fine. And then to see it all unfold, it's like it's beautiful to watch. Then I gotta bring it up because it pissed me off. But the girl who popped dirty with Sean, that was just because I was freaking out that whole fight because I was
freaking out when you know what happened to me. I was freaking out too.
Man, but the biggest thing was how you handled it, because the way you handled it was, I got to focus on this. This is bigger than everything else. Once I get there, I can move forward. And the biggest thing was, you have feelings. I was telling him before you got here, like you have feelings when you watching the fight, like something don't feel right about this.
Baby, I could show you previous interviews. I already knew it was up. And this is the ugly part about boxing. This is the ugly part about boxing, because It's a lot of politics. It's a lot of side deals. It's a lot of people who don't want to see you win. Like, you probably have more people that don't want to see you win than you do, you know, that wants to see you win. So if you get good people that support you or good people in your corner, take them, because they are far and few in between. And it's hard to find people who have your best interests. And 9 times out of 10, you may not, like, you gotta understand, it's always gonna be, they're always gonna want something from you. Yeah. You'll find people who genuinely just bang with you, but it's always gonna be some kind of kickback. And it's like Bob Marley says, everyone's gonna break your heart. You just gotta find out who's worth it.
Indeed.
You know?
Indeed.
But yeah, with that situation, I'm a firm believer in the universe and correcting itself. And I didn't have to say a word, because when I went through the situation, when they popped dirty and people were bashing the fans, the people, other fighters stood up for me. I didn't have to badmouth anybody, because I knew the truth. And I was driving up to Danny Garcia fighting in New York, and I got the call that that person tested positive. And I was like, I knew it. I freaking knew it. And fast forward now, they just retired in September. Yeah. And it's like, even could I complain that it wasn't a harsh enough punishment when it happened? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I still was focused on what I got to do. I know I'm going to be fine, but I just needed to, maybe what I went through, save somebody else's life or help bring light to the PED usage and women's boxing, because we don't get the respect anyway as women boxers. And then to find out they cheating, like, nobody's going to care. But what I went through definitely brought light to it. And yeah, they retired, and now they're trying to sue because they're making it a whole different situation. You can't sue because you cheated. Like, make it make sense.
Ain't no way you can make that add up.
And I was telling him, he was like, what you worried about? And I said, the biggest thing is the sport is dangerous enough as it is. And then you take what our relationship is and me watching the fight, and I'm saying, like, move. I'm sweating the whole time. You sweating, I was like, move, Sean. Keep moving. We keep rolling on it and stuff. And to dig deep past that, you really risking it now.
I was hurt. I got hurt the second round. Like, that was I knew something was wrong, because out of my whole career as an amateur and a professional, I've never, like, I've gotten like a flash from I used to spar this light heavyweight guy. I walked into a punch and I got hurt. Like, I blacked out a little bit, but I've never been hurt in a fight. Like, I got a chin and everything, but she, like, yeah. And I was hurt from round 2, probably all the way up to like round 5, 6. So I just said, don't go down. And I knew something was wrong, because I was telling B, I'm like, am I doing something? I'm asking the corner, like, am I doing something wrong? Because I'm hitting her with everything but the kitchen sink. Like, most punches, like, I'm not the strongest, but I know I got pop. I know I got enough to make you respect me. Like, you ain't gonna just keep walking in. I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
the roll under, they still post it. I was telling before you guys, like, they still post, and they put textbook whenever they post. When you rolled under and threw a perfect uppercut, everything was flush. Boom, textbook.
Like,
boom.
yo.
And I'm like, the girl didn't even lean or
she
nothing.
shook it off like, okay, what's next?
Like, God.
and that just shows, and that takes me to, like, why I don't be tripping off girls talking crazy now. Like, I'm built like that.
Yeah.
The fact that a person had the juice for a whole year just to barely get an undeserved split decision against me. Like, you think I'm worried about a Savannah? You think I'm worried about a Hammer, any of those girls? Like, any punch can hurt you, but trust me.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. What are some things you saw that Clarissa exposed with Savannah that last fight that you could exploit against her?
If I hit her flush like that, it's gonna be different, because I'm a little more powerful than Clarissa. She's strong, but I'm more powerful. She doesn't really jab. And she tried to bully Clarissa because she was bigger. It wouldn't be. It's all I could say. It'll be a different fight with me, because we have different styles, and I have different arsenals. Like, Clarissa was at a disadvantage with her reach. My reach is longer. I'm more solid, and I have different style. Like Clarissa's a volume puncher. I got speed and hands too, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out here real quick. If Savannah for 1 second, like first I want to say respect to Savannah. You know, do not retire. Not after that beautiful performance.
Yeah,
I told
her,
do not
let's
retire.
go.
You know, do not. You know, you did what you did. Nobody will ever forget. But shawty, Clarissa was rolling, shooting all the way from the bottom up. But if you think for 1 second you gonna walk forward and shoot from bottom up like this and bring it back to your kneecap and no overhand right is coming, you was sadly mistaken.
Yeah, I just think that would be one fight that would bring out the best in me. Like even my debut with Clarissa for 4 rounds, you know, I had only 2 weeks to train. Let's remember. I think that would be one of those fights that people really get to see, like, I'm really what I say I am. Because you'll be surprised, even after accomplishing Undisputed, fighting the type of fights I fought in my short career, people still questioning, like, it's okay.
Right. That's a damn shame.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Nah, cause that type, you know, when I know the fight now or been in the gym with them, he knows like that different time done gone on. And now look, this is the guy on the phone. She already know I'm gonna go off. This is the thing. I said this before you got here. That you can't. The people who say that, I wonder if they know what that 3 minutes feel like.
Right.
Because
that's true.
You can take. It's only a few people that you could really write them, man or woman. You could put out. Say it again. That you could put on a piece of paper and say I have more accomplishment than her. From amateur, from nationals to international competition, to pro, up to Undisputed, she can literally take up this table. And it's only true. 1 or 2 men and maybe 1 woman that you could really put on a list and maybe say, like, okay, maybe just that. And it's only about that much that they may have 1 more thing than her. So you can't necessarily say that. So if anybody were to say that, I wonder if they know what that 3 minutes feel like.
Yeah. I'm open for, as far as women, I'm open for 12 2 minutes to start out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I would go the extra two rounds because it definitely would test your gas tank. Because you saw with Clarissa Savannah's fight, you know, that last round, Clarissa had spent a lot of money and she needed to re-up a little bit, you know?
Right.
And who knows what would have happened in those last 2 rounds, even with my fight. So it's a process, and you have women advocate for 3-minute rounds. I'm okay with 12 2-minute rounds to start out with.
For sure.
Unless they're going to pay us more, I'm going to do what I got to do.
And two, this, for people who don't know, like, you're giving these women 10 times 2, but they in the gym sparring 5-minute rounds. They in the gym with men. They made some, and some of the men made, like, of course, you're working with your teammate. You ain't trying to kill them. You're trying to help them get to the money, but you also not babysitting.
What gym is that? Because
exactly. But I'm just saying. But you know, you got certain situations where these women, these same women that you're saying they can't do this, can't do that, they sparring 10 rounds, switching out guys. There's no girls there. I done seen this woman on switching 4 rounds. You get 4, you get 4, you get 4. Stuff like that. They doing 12, stuff like that, switching guys out, and then they doing sometimes 5-minute rounds. And yet you want to say, oh, well, you know, safety, you want to do 2 minutes. Right. Nah, man.
Listen, women have the capacity to give birth. That's how we were designed. And unfortunately, it's some women who can't, you know, due to, you know, health reasons. But we can sustain more pain and trauma than anybody.
I'm telling you. Because I got tattoos, and I hate tattoos, but the women I know that got tattoos, they love, like, y'all love getting inked up in terrible spots, and they don't even. I'm like, y'all cry when I got my ribs tatted. They probably on
some other stuff. That's what it is.
I don't know, but women's pain tolerance is crazy.
Yeah,
it's definitely crazy.
Of course.
But
of course.
Before we let you go, I know you got a busy schedule, Undisputed World Champion.
I gotta eat. I'm hungry.
Multiple businesses and stuff you're doing. First, we want to thank you for coming to the show and showing love. This is huge. Undisputed World Champion here, guys. Franchon Crews-Dezurn.
Thanks for looking out for your baby bro.
Yeah.
Right, baby bro. You know,
I was like, what took y'all so long? I was getting kind of jealous. Like,
oh, man.
What's going on?
I had to shut up.
What's going on?
What took so long?
Producing team? What's good?
I'm going to pass that to the team. I ain't want no part of that.
They be treating me bad, y'all. It's okay, though.
Was anything that you would like to say before we let you go today?
Like I said, November 6th, I'm doing my fashion showcase. Look out for all the guys. that's coming up, you know, at my gym. Shout out to Glenn too. Just, you know, just I don't know what else to say. Thank you for the support. And, you know, I love the DMV. So it was special for me to come here because I've been on all types of platforms. But to come here and spend time with you guys, I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, that means a lot. Thank you so much. Also, before you leave, we got a gift for you. We got a pair of the HYBERNATION 5 headphones from Kenichi Bed for you.
Oh, shoot. Let me find out. You see what's happening.
Indeed. Also, because they weren't able to do a food drop today, El Paso Route 1 is going to invite you to the restaurant on them.
Ooh.
Give you a plate. El Paso Route 1.
Yeah, one of our sponsors.
What kind of food is it?
Mexican food.
Oh, yeah.
It's over with? So El Paso Route 1 is going to invite you to the restaurant on them. They want to have an undisputed world champion in the building, and they would love to have you.
Muchas gracias para comida porque mucho me gusta mexicana comida.
Oh, she got you, bro.
You speak Spanish too?
A little bit.
Yeah, I love Mexican food.
Yeah.
I love all of that.
Indeed. Well, again, thank you again, and we're going to cut to a quick break.
I was born for this. Always knew I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep this, I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. So that.